Okay, so hope everyone is logged in.
Recording in progress.
Go to your project folder. Project 1, in that open the CMD. In project 1 folder, open the CMD. Write there code space dot enter. VS Code will open. Code space dot command will help you to open the VS Code directly. Then we'll write again here npm start to start the React development server. Okay, next apart from that, yesterday, so let it start, it will take 1 2 minutes. Yesterday we have written one file developer guide. Go to the file, open file, developer guide select. That file will also come here. Okay, then yesterday, if you remember, in app.js file, what we did? In app.js file, we have seen these rules. Okay, which rules? We can create our own tag also, but the tag will be case sensitive, as well as every XML file will have only one parent document element. So in app.js file, you can see division is open and closed as a parent, and inside we have multiple child elements. Related to this, few notes you can write here, and then you can move ahead. Okay, so come next. The right call component. Component, I have given you a small line of definition from internet yesterday. It says component is a bit of reusable code that return in the isolation of HTML, and it is called as a, it is same like as a JavaScript function. It is same like the JavaScript function. Okay. So exact same thing in app.js file. We have one function called app. So we will not call it a function. We will call it a component. And under this component, we have HTML code. And this component will return, this function will return as a HTML code. Where we are using that, we'll see. Below some line is written, that also we'll see. But first, complete this part, the rule of JSX. Okay. And you can see inside this component, H1 is there, paragraph is there, XYZ is written. So this is following the rule of XML. Okay. So you will call as a tag also, as well as you will call as a JSX element also. Because division to division is called as a JSX. This is called as what? JSX part. Under the JSX part, whatever the tag we write, it is called as a JSX element. Okay, JSX element. So component is nothing but it is equal to function in Java the script. Okay, component is nothing but function in JavaScript. I have just made an assignment operator saying like what we write in component. Okay, what we write in component in the term of JavaScript we call it a component, but in the term of React, in the term of JavaScript we call it a function, but in the term of React we call it a component. Okay, it will have HTML code, it will have JavaScript code, it will have based on rule of XML, and then after that it will come next. Right here, next call JSX element. JSX element. JSX element meaning is what? JSX element is nothing but all HTML tags plus user defined tags are called JSX element in React. Call a JSX element in React. Okay. Are called JSX element in React. Next, after that, right below, JSX rule 1. Rule 1. If inside a component more than one JSX element inside a component more than one JSX element is required, more than one JSX element is required, then keep inside parent JSX element. Keep inside parent JSX element. Example, you have a page about us. You close the H1 as a heading. Then you follow a paragraph. You wrote some text. Close the paragraph. Then maybe you follow a division. Close the division. Maybe again. You will follow the next paragraph. And you close the paragraph. Now, how many elements? So many. So this directly you cannot write and run here. That you have seen already. So we can keep inside a parent JSX element. That can be a section tag or can be any other tag also. So we kept inside a section tag, something like this. Okay. We kept inside a section tag, something like this. So in this, you can see section tag open and close. You must remember that it's a case sensitive because of rule of XML. You must remember that H1 open, it must get closed. Else JSX fragment mismatch problem will come. You must remember that paragraph open, paragraph should get closed. Okay. And section to section will be called as a JSX and section will be the parent JSX element, remaining all will be as a child JSX element. Come now below. You can write rule 1, 2, 3 you don't write, it look like numbering system. So let's keep as a JSX rule only. Point number second will write. In the first point we wrote inside a component more than one JSX. More than one JSX elements are required, then keep inside a parent JSX element. Okay. Below you are writing the parent or child JSX element can be user defined tag also. Right below the parent or child JSX element can be user defined tag also. The parent or child JSX element can be user defined tag also. Example, copy the section to section and paste in the bottom. Section to section you paste, copy and paste in the bottom. So hope everyone is following. Section tag we can write here called hello open and section we can close as a hello as a close. So hope you are ready. Okay, coming next. Write the next point. The parent or child J6 element can be the parent or child J6 element can be the parent or child J6 element can be empty tag also. Empty tag also. For example, you copy this section, paste the same thing below, and hello remove and keep it empty. Right? Next, after that, write the next one. The parent or child J6 element can be also. Okay. Example you can copy from here. Same thing you can add here and make this one as a square, something like this. Written. So till here you understood J6. Now come next. Next, after this, understand the flow of data in real. The flow of data in real. You can keep comma here. We saw yesterday. Comma is required here. After every element, comma I need to add. Then the flow of data in React. Inside the React, where to create the file, how to load it, where to load it. Okay. That is the next point to understand. So let us go to the Okay, understand the flow now. So in React, when you are developing the application, it will be like this. You can say user, when you open the website, how you open the website? Through any device, correct? So that I am writing here, a user, it can be anyone. A user open the laptop or maybe mobile or maybe desktop, anything, and inside that laptop, desktop, mobile, he opened the browser. He opened the browser. We also do the same. We open the browser to open any website. Browser. After opening the browser, he will enter a URL, and after that, based on URL, which URL the user has entered, website will open and website will display the content. So here I am trying to explain you that user interaction happen to the which one? Browser. Next, in the browser, you are going to open a website that is developed in React. So one section becomes a React front-end technology, and one more section I'll write here, back-end technology. It can be any kind of back-end language, combination with the database and other. So I'll write here called back-end server. Simple, I write here backend, and this becomes the front end. React as a front end. Okay, React as a front end technology. Now let's understand when the user will come to the your React application. Inside React, what you have? If you look into the folder, you can find here node modules, public and SRC. Node modules, public and SRC. So let me go first. A folder called public, and another one, a folder called node modules. This become your node modules and this become the public. So inside the node modules, you will have all the libraries that is required to develop the project in Angular or React. And this folder is called a public folder. This folder is called a public folder. Next, after this, in public folder, if you look, index.html, verify once, is it there? Go to your index.html into public folder and see you have any file called index.html. HTML I wrote in the name line or wrote down. I'll try to keep in the same line, little smaller font. 16. Okay, so it is able to match. So inside the public folder, multiple files are there, but we require one file now to understand. That is called index.html. And we know from beginning that browser can deal with the HTML. Browser will deal with only HTML. And your HTML will deal with the browser. This two line is reason to create is the first line represent the input and second line represent the output. Input will be given by user in the browser. From browser it will go to where? In application. The first file you have that will take the action, that is called index.html. Then the code what we have written, it is under the app.js file. How it is coming here? Now look next. Next we have another folder that is called src folder. I'll write here. Next we have a folder called src folder. Okay. So remaining area is of src. Hold on. I will use the different shape. This shape is not looking much helpful. So this becomes a complete which folder? src folder. That you have in your system, you can check that folder. This becomes a src folder. I'll write here call src. I'll mark as a arrow mark src folder. If you look under the src folder, you have a file called index.js. Check. Can you find a file called index.js? Index.js, one file you will find. That index.js file now going to deal with the HTML. This index.js file is going to deal with the HTML file in this way. Again, via this input will go here, and again from the index file output will go here. To which file? Index.html. Next, the code what we have written, it is not in index.js. The code we have written, that is under this file. That is called app.js. Correct? You have written the code. This is the app.js. Inside the app.js, again, the request will come via this one. From which one? Index.js side. Then app.js file will reply to which one? Index.js. Index.js will reply to index.html, and index.html, whatever the content will send here, it will give to the browser using inner HTML, and it will display in the browser. So we have seen till here. We have modified under the app.js. From app.js data will go to the index.js. I will show you how it is going. And from index it will come to the app.index.html, and from here it will execute in the browser. But next requirement is the work will not be only this much. Like work only in app.js, there will be so many page and functionality. So for that purpose, we have to come now under this src folder, and according to need, we need to create the pages. Like suppose you need one file. You need one file for login functionality. You will create a login.js. You may need one file register.js. You have to create a file. You may need one file, maybe called home.js. Correct. You may need some other file, dashboard.js. You may have requirement, maybe called billing.js. Maybe there will be product.js. So how many files? So many files. So many files according to need we have to create. Okay. Now these files are independent JavaScript files. These files will be independent JavaScript file. Okay. Each file will hold a component. Next, after that, question is how to run this file and how to see the output of this file. Correct? So you got total how many? 6 pages. So these 6 pages, now where to call? So this 6 page we can call under the index.js also. It will work. This 6 page we can call in index.js also, it will work. But how we are going to follow? We are going to follow something like this. This login.js we will call under the call it app.js. Register also we will call under the app.js. Home also will call under the app.js. Dashboard also we will call under the app.js. Billing also we can come under the app.js. Product also we can call under the app.js. But again, I am saying it is not necessary that you need to call only in app.js. You can call under the index.js also. Okay. Or you can create a separate file, welcome.js, and in welcome.js you can call. And welcome.js you can give directly to index.js. Okay. App is a predefined file, so we are going to use it. So you saw this file register will deal with the app, and app is already dealing with the browser. Home will deal with the app is already dealing with the browser. Right? So this becomes inside the React. We created the file directly. It can be that we can create a folder. Inside the folder we can create the file. We are going to follow the same. We will create the folder, and under folder we will add it. Okay. Come next. And next, understand the components are dealing with the browser. App is going to deal here and all. Then at a time, how many pages you will display? All the pages are only one page. When the user will go to login, do you display register also? No, only login. When the user will go to home, do you display the billing also? No, only the home. Correct? So for that purpose, we will write the condition here in app.js file. And based on that condition, the particular page will go to the index. All pages will not go at a time. It's our wish. We can send 2 pages at a time. We can send 1 page at a time, or we can send all pages also at a time. Okay. That is the inner level functionality within the React communication. Next, the React want to communicate with the API. How it will happen? React want to communicate with the JSON server outside. want to bring the data, want to send the data, how it will happen? So for that purpose, let us see. It will happen like this. You have a backend. Under the backend, assume you are using the Node.js. You are using the maybe Node.js, or maybe you are using the Python, or maybe you are using the Java, correct? Okay, or maybe you are using the any other language. Assume call PHP. No matter. Okay, any language as a backend language should be there in the server. So assume we use the any language from here, any language we use, and using this any of the language, we are trying to write a API. Okay, using any of the language, we can write the API. Assume I'm going to write here using any of this language for the web service. Okay, using any of this language, we can write call this one, web service. Web service. Web service. Now this web service will be designed according to the database. If our database is MongoDB, then there will not be any concept of SQL. If the database will be SQL based, maybe MySQL, MS SQL, or maybe Oracle, or maybe multiple databases are there in the market, then we have to write the SQL query here. Now see, from the front end, request will go to the back end. From the front end, request will go to the back end. This way. This become your API part where your data will communicate. Because one is the front end, another one is the back end. Both may be in one server or both may be in different server. It is not necessary that both is in the same server, or even it is not necessary that also both are in different server. Both can be in same server or both can be in different server. That depends. Okay, right. After this, the front end technology, whichever you have used here, it can be anyone from the company side. Suppose product we want to bring from the where? Database, from the backend. Billing will come from where? Backend. Dashboard data will come from where? Backend. Home data will come from where? Backend. Register data will go to where? Backend. Login authentication will happen where? In the backend. So the purple line you can see, that is dealing with the backend as a API call. Okay, I will write here in the beginning at this place. Okay, I will mark this one. Okay, and then I'll write here the purple color wherever we have, it represent call API call. What it represent? API call. The purple color represent the API call. Right. So you can see here, purple color represent which one? API call. Okay. Next, we have another point now. So when the data will go from React to backend, in which format it will go? So that will go in the form of this one. Call as a JSON. We have to send the JSON data to the backend, and we have to retrieve the JSON data from the backend. So your entire communication will be based on which format? JSON format. Then a request will come here to the backend language, web service where we are writing. It can be based on SQL or it can be based on no SQL. No SQL. That the database will decide. Okay, whether your database is which one, SQL or no SQL. Okay, your database is SQL or no SQL. Next, after that, this web service will process the request. This is for what purpose? To process request. Process the request. Now the request can be anything. Request can be give the data. Request can be save the data. Request can be delete the data. Request can be update the data. Request can be anything. So this request will be here under the where? Backend language. Backend language. That is called server-side processing language. Server-side processing language. Server-side processing language, this and all. Next, coming to the database. Database. Database, I will go for the black color. Database will have everywhere. Database will have everywhere. What will be under the database? Under the database, only one thing will be called data, 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 and which one? Data. Everywhere it will be data, 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 and data. Now, which format it is? That we have to understand. If it is a JSON, then JSON server. If it is a JSON format, if it is a SQL, then SQL format, that defines. Right? This all inside database what we have? Only data, correct? Under the database, we have only data, data, and data. This data has to go to the where? React. So that React will display to user. So, but this data will not go to the React directly. The reason is database is a secure zone. In database, whatever the data you have stored, it will be not accessible by React. Database can be accessed by backend language. Okay. So for that, let me make here a very double and strong line. See that this becomes a database. Double line represent it is in very secure area. Okay, double triple line represent it is in the very secure area. Okay. Next, after that, let me mark here. This color represent DB. DB. Okay, this represent as a DB. Next, after that, from database, the data has to go to the front-end technology, but it will not go directly. Reason is what? The reason is only one. The data what we have in database it is a secure data. It will not be accessible to everyone. So that the server side language will say, you don't worry, your data is in secure mode and your data is in secure zone also. No one can go here, only who can go? Server side language can go to the database, get the data, and with a very small pipeline in the form of JSON give to React, and React will display via app file, it will display under the browser. Okay. So this is the basic flow. Okay. This is the basic flow of your React. So we are going to work on the same structure first. We'll create few files. Those files will follow the app and we'll see working or not. Then we'll create some file and we will try to link in a folder, and from folder we'll call, then we'll see it's working or not. Okay. So hope you have written. Next, after that, if you want to take photo, you can take it, no problem. Wait for a minute. I will add here our logo so that normal, it will try to avoid the duplicacy kind of work. 1 minute रुक जाओ आप. I should not add the info campus at this point. I should add info campus here so that Google will not. Info CAM देखिए पूरा गड़बड़ हो गया. P will come here. Okay, so if you want to take the photo, you can take it. 1 minute रुको आप. Let me color it, then you can take. Input I'll make a sky blue. And output I'll make as a orange color. Okay, now you can take. Become a colorful photo. So this is the basic structure of basic flow. But we have not seen what is the use of the node modules. What is the use of node modules? We have not seen. Wait a minute. Node modules can be accessed inside the SRC anywhere. Node module will be able to access inside the SRC anywhere. Node module you can access under the SRC anywhere. Okay. 1 minute. Back. Okay, so when you go for interview, people will ask you, what is the folder structure of React? What is the folder structure of React? Or I'll save this file, further discussion. DFT. Anyone want to say something? No, let's come then. Go to your project folder here. In SRC folder, create a folder called basic. One more folder, hooks. One more folder, API. Okay. Three folders are ready. So first we will create the file under the basic folder. Go to the VS Code now. And in VS Code, you can see the SRC. Under SRC, it will show you the total 3 folders: API, basic, and hooks. Under the basic folder, you click first. And then create a file called user.js. User.js. In user.js file, write a function my user. In React, every component name should start with the uppercase. So my user name should be uppercase. My user equal to, not equal to, it is normal function. Come inside. Under this my user function, under the my user function, you can write for return. Whenever we will call this function my user, it will, my user function will return something. So for that again, division tab you open and close as a parent JSX element. Write h1 inside. User management. Write a paragraph. Write a paragraph. Keep inside anything. User is working. Write one more paragraph. Something. Next, after that, this function, the component my user you have created, we want to use in some other file. Which file? As for the photo, this is a file. This file we have to use where? Under the app.js. So suppose you created one product in Mumbai and that product you want to use in Delhi. So what you have to do? 𝕷𝖊𝖆𝖵 product company is available in Mumbai, correct? Near to the 𝕷𝖊𝖆𝖵𝖗𝑗 railway station. And that product we purchase in our village also. Correct or not? So product manufacture happen in different city and selling is happening in different city. That meaning there is a concept of import and export. People who want to sell the 𝕷𝖊𝖆𝖵𝖗𝑗 in the Bangalore, they have to import from where? Mumbai. And suppose if the Mumbai 𝕷𝖊𝖆𝑗 company don't want to sell in Bangalore, what will happen? Bangalore cannot bring it. Okay? Simple fundamental. You have something, like suppose you have two-wheeler and you want that your two-wheeler should not be accessed by anyone. Anyone will access? No. If you want that your friend should access, then they can use it. So your friend is going to take from you. Okay? Assume big costly car manufacture happen out of the India and people will use in India. Then suppose you are bringing a car from America, you want to use in India. If American company don't want to send in India, don't want to sell in India, will you bring in India? No. That meaning first, who has manufactured it, he want to sell. Correct? He want to sell. Where? Not in their country, somewhere else. Okay? So they want to export it they want to export it, then only someone can import it. If suppose someone is ready to export, then only you can import. Seller is not ready to sell. How buyer will buy? Buyer can buy. No. Seller will say it is only to see, not to sell and buy. Okay. So that is called import and export. Export means you are ready to sell and someone want to buy. So someone want to buy, that meaning he want to do the import, and someone want to sell means he want to export. Come to the technology now. In the term of React, in the term of JavaScript, in the term of Angular, you have seen yesterday the definition called React provide a component that is called a bits of reusable code. We can write once and we can use how many times? So many times. Now you are creating a function in this user file, and if you are able to use only one time, then reusability concept will not come. We have to use many times, then only we can say it's reusable. So many times where you want to use, not within the same file, somewhere else, then only we can say we are using many places. So here function is created and we want to use in some other file. So for that, what we have to do, we have to export this function. Okay, we have to make this function usable somewhere else. So for that, what we will do, call as a export. Means you are agree to go somewhere else. The function is agree to go somewhere else. Function have a permission to bring access somewhere else. So export which one? Your component name. That is called my user. But again, React has so many rule and regulation. In that, once you come under the state management, then we'll come to know. But as of now, without a keyword, you cannot use it. It's going to become a syntax error. What is that keyword? Default. Saying like from this component, whenever you are going to import something, my user will be the default one. Whenever from user.js file you call something, my user will be which one? Default one. And without default is a syntax error. It will not work. Okay. So now your my user component become as a export. My user function become as a exported. Anyone can import it. In any of the component within current project, we can import it. We can call it. So my user function got the permission to get call anywhere and access anywhere. That is the meaning of what? Export. If anyone asks what is the meaning of export, you will say in the term of JavaScript, library or framework, we have to create reusable facility, reusable resource, where you will create in one file and you will use in another file. So there it can be an array, it can be a function, correct? 1 minute, okay? Yeah, hello. Yes, hello. Yes. Okay. So we, in the term of JavaScript or React or Angular or whichever the JavaScript framework we have, we create an array, we create a function, we write a class in one place and we want to use on different places. So that class name, that function name, that variable name, the constant name, we have to write as a export. Then we have to mark as a export. Then only somewhere we can import it. Until unless you will not mark as export, you cannot import it. Come down to the app.js file. In the beginning of the app.js file, right here call import. What do you want to import? File name or function name? We want to import the component name, correct? Where it is? User.js file. So you will write here import name of the component, that is called my user. Import name of the component my user, From where? Under basic folder, there is a user.js file. .js is optional here. You can use also, or you can leave also .js. Written my user. Now suppose my user is a function. So in the term of JavaScript, how you call the function? You call like this. This is the way to call the function in JavaScript. But in JSX, it's a different. We can write here in JavaScript. In JavaScript, we call like this. In JavaScript, we call like this. But in React, we will call like this. My user. We will call like this. Just like the BR HR tag. Okay. How we write the BR and HR tag? Exact that way you can call here. So let's go up. And from this file, welcome to React _𝖊𝖆𝖗𝖓. And after that, within the same division, call the my user component like this. Call the my user component like this. Save it and check once. My user component like this. Save it. Look into your browser. See how it is. So in my user component. So please check your my user component is coming here. User management, something like this. Welcome to React, and after that, user management. Just go to the browser, refresh your page, and hopefully you will get the code working. Yes. For 4 people it is working, other has not tried. So you understood the rule of JSX. After that, you understood which one? The flow inside the React. Next, we will work on creating the component, applying the CSS, and furthermore. Okay. See you tomorrow. Today little late happened. Tomorrow hopefully will be on time. Your video will be available in the website. You can watch from there.
Recording stopped.